Hello, and welcome to another edition of Health Bites. Today, I wanted to answer a question that's been put to me many times, and that is, should I take a dewormer? Now, there are many people who do so regularly, and perhaps most allopathic doctors would answer yes to this question. However, through the eyes of natural medicine, we view this really quite differently. We believe that everything is interconnected in life and that the body is an intricate part of nature and its extraordinary wisdom. And that all of life is in truth in this beautiful dance, a symbiosis, all working together such that everything, even the worms, the bacteria, the parasites, viruses, and so on, have a profound purpose for being. There simply are no mistakes in nature, and nature is most certainly not out to cause you or I disease. However, the understanding, the conventional allopathic approach that most of us have been brought up with is that it is us against all these microbes and parasites, which of course in turn requires a huge reliance on antibiotics and dewormers and antivirals, etc., to defend ourselves against them. And all of this is largely a consequence of the germ theory that was proposed by Louis Pasteur way back in 1861. And we now know this to be fundamentally flawed. In contrast, when we approach health from the cellular terrain theory that was proposed by Antoine Béchamp and Claude Bernard, we come to understand that when we cleanse our cellular terrain, that being the inner environment of our body, there is no need to fear worms and all microbes for that matter. Because you see, these worms and the microbes have no interest in a clean body. So to demonstrate this, let's look at an example by casting our minds for a moment to animals in the wild. So if we were to see a wild deer, for example, in the forest that was vibrant with life, it would not be covered in parasites. However, if we were to find that same animal lying dead, in a matter of hours, it would be overrun with bacteria and maggots and so on, because very simply, they are drawn to these dead tissues to disintegrate it and to return it to nature. And in doing so, they are performing a vital function. So, and then to use a very different example, imagine a dustbin on a hot day into which perhaps old food has been thrown into it. Well, in no time at all, it would be infested with maggots and bacteria, again, to break down this food, this rotting food. If you cleaned out that same dustbin, nothing. So, getting back to the worms, they are only attracted to our gastrointestinal tract when our intestines are burdened with old, decomposing, putrefying food that fails to pass through our intestines effectively. And this all happens as a consequence of food that we really shouldn't be eating. The fast food, processed food, food engineered and manipulated by man, and so on. It's just simply not aligned with nature, and it builds up in the gut and it literally starts to rot. And the reality is that a great deal of people have significant amounts of old rotting food in their gut that doesn't make it all the way out. And, I've personally known people expel many kilograms of this putrid material from their gut after deep healing colon cleanses. it's really quite extraordinary to witness, because it demonstrates it beyond doubt. And this decomposing toxic matter in the gut, by the way, is referred to as mucoid plaque. It lines the intestinal wall, and as you can imagine, it's a source of a great deal of toxins, and it attracts parasites such as worms. So not surprisingly, it also leads to an unhealthy gut wall. There's reduced absorption of nutrients, and there's an increased permeability of our gut wall. And this is often referred to as leaky gut. And it's very, very common in modern times, and ultimately can lead to a whole host of disease conditions, anything from food allergies to inflammatory bowel disease, Crohn's disease, a huge array of autoimmune diseases, colon cancer, and much more. Anyway, getting back to the worms, the worms are not the problem. The burdened gut is. Cleanse the gut, and the worms will have no interest in you. Remember the dustbin. In contrast, by killing the worms with dewormers, we are not solving the problem. And in fact, it's making it worse, because then the buildup of this rotting, decomposing food in the gut will simply increase and potentially cause impactions over time, and many other consequences. And even if you do kill the worms with dewormers, as many people do, while failing to cleanse the gut, well, the worms will be back in no time at all, because we never clean the gut. Now, having said all that, I will add that if the body has been inundated with this burden in the gut over an extended time, and it's weakened as a result of it and ill, then there certainly is a place to support the elimination of worms, but using gentle and effective natural herbal remedies. And examples of this would be a wormwood, and clove, and green hull walnut tincture, amongst others. And they also have a detoxifying effect. But remember, one would still crucially do this hand in hand with cleansing the gut. Always, always, always treating the underlying cause. So, in summary, in natural medicine, our approach is not to wage war against the worms and the other trillions of microbes that live outside as well as inside our bodies, remembering that they are all part of this exquisite interconnected web of life, and to celebrate that and to live in harmony with that. And so with that, we would not advocate the use of these chemical products, because apart from them not treating the cause, we would also be adding toxicity to our body with these toxic chemicals, and in doing so, creating an even greater burden on our body, on our liver and other organs. So how do we clean our gut then? Well, it starts with transitioning to a more natural diet, one that will automatically align with and promote great gut health increasingly over time. And along with this, introducing detoxing cleansers into our health regime, such as cleansing fasts, enemas, and colonic cleansers. And if you want to find out more details of just how to do this, how to gently and effectively cleanse your gut in a manner that's a right fit for you, then please reach out to me or another natural practitioner who can guide you through this process. And I'm very certain that you will enjoy many far-reaching positive impacts on your health. So with that, until next time, so much love.